What time is it?
I don't know. I'll check. It's spring! Wake up! Everybody, it's springtime! Spring is here! Spring is here, spring is here, spring is here, spring is here.
Spring is here!
Spring is here?
Spring is finally here! With the snow and ice no longer seen.
The leaves are finally turning green.
That's why it's time to sing.
Spring is here, 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 spring is finally here. Spring is finally
Here.
Great job, everybody!
That was even better than last year.
So I guess that met with your approval, huh? So because I forgot to put it in my script, I'll say it now. Please put your phones on. Welcome to the Granite Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Preston, Arizona. Welcome to our spring equinox service, both for those of you in the sanctuary and for those of you on Zoom. The service is presented by the Granite Peak Spirits. We are the Granite Peak chapter of the Covenant of UU Pagans, an interfaith pagan group of the Unitarian Universalist Association. The mission of the Kindred Spirits is to connect UUs and pagans of many different traditions in an inclusive, welcoming space. We celebrate our earth-based faith traditions in harmony with our UU principles. We are both pagans and Unitarian Universalists. We are an inclusive spiritual community that encompasses many faith traditions and belief systems. We happily worship and play together. This is play, as you saw. And we learn from each other. We share fellowship and discuss common problems. We support the mission and vision of both the Granite Peak congregation and the National CUUPS organization, as well as the Unitarian Universalist principles. You can learn more about us on the Granite Peak website under resources and then groups. You don't have to sign on, you can get there that way. You don't have to be a member of either the congregation or National CUUPS to participate in our local group. However, we encourage those who are interested to check out the National CUUPS webpage and consider membership. Look, when you go, it's cuups.uu.org, I think. Yeah, CUUPS, no, just cuups.org. Click here to be a CUUPS member if you're interested. Now that we can meet in person, we would like to have more in-person CUUPS gatherings where we can share information about our various traditions and begin again to celebrate together. If you have questions about our organization, or if you want to be notified of future events, please talk to Suki, raise your hand, after the service. And now we're going to have a stewardship moment from Joe Sprague.
I'm Joe Sprague, and I've been a Granite Peak member for about 15 years. In that role, I found myself at an aging workshop offered by Faith Development here at Granite Peak with several of our members. And we were asked the question, if you were to think back, and what did you think about the age that you are today? What surprised you in a good way? What surprised you in a not so good way? And it was amazing to me that so many of us found that the good surprise we had was the presence of Granite Peak in our lives. We had never anticipated being part of a community like this to have supporting us as we faced the challenges of being the ages that we are today. That reminded me of a quotation by the theologist Frederick Buechner. He said, "People seek a place where the individual's deep gladness and the world's great hunger meet. And that's what's happened for me here at Granite Peak. My deep gladness comes from being part of a community where we laugh and learn and sing and sometimes even dance together, where we can expect to hear sermons and messages that will both comfort us and challenge us at the same time, where we can be around like-minded people, but also people of all different aspects of life that we maybe never even thought about having contact with, and the opportunity to learn through that. These are some of the personal things that add to my deep gladness, but I also find I care more and more about the world and what it can be like. And the world's deep hunger meets here at Granite Peak. There's a deep hunger in the world for, well, food, and for shelter, for health care, for peace, and for nurturing the planet itself, being kind to our environment, being aware of the needs of other living non-human creatures in this environment. When that personal need and that need to be part of what's going on in the greater world come together, I find that my feelings toward Granite Peak just grow deeper and deeper, and that it is the vehicle that brings those two parts of my life together, my own personal gladness and joy and the need to satisfy the hungers in our world. And I've noticed over that same period of time, as this awareness has deepened through my connection with the congregation, that my pledge has just kind of sneaked up to about double what it was when I first got here, because this is the place where I best find that combination of things. I hope you'll feel that way too.
Thank you, Joe. Joe wandered in while she was talking. Always cool. So I forgot to mention, there are musical instruments scattered around. If you don't like the one that's on your chair, exchange with somebody else, and feel free to drum at all the places. And if you didn't get a musical instrument, God gave you this one. At this time, we'll be collecting the offering. Let us embrace the feeling of connection and community that we have when we gather here each week. Let us remember that this congregation and its programs are supported by your generosity. We also give back to the greater community through our Seeds of Support program. This month's recipient is the Unitarian Universalist Justice Arizona, better known as UU Jazz. Please read about them in your order of service. Please enjoy this offering music and get in the spirit of today by drumming. We acknowledge the generosity of spirit expressed through this offering. What is given in love is received in gratitude. Blessed be.
Now we begin our celebration of spring in the pagan tradition of calling the directions. Check which way is east. We call to the east and the element air. Remind us of our first breath in this time of new beginnings and new life, this time of planting our desires, hopes, and intentions. Spirits of the East, we greet you and welcome you to our circle. We call to the South and the element fire, symbol of youthful passion and innocence in this time of renewing our passions. Spirits of the South, we greet you and welcome you to our circle. We call to the West and the element water in this time of the resurrection of nature. Help us move around our obstacles with grace. Spirits of the West, we greet you and welcome you to our circle. We call to the North and the element earth. In this, a time for celebrating that all lives are one and that we are all part of the earth's life force. Keep us grounded and centered. Show us the rich soil that turns decay into new life. Spirits of the North, we greet you and welcome you to our circle. We call the whole sky above us. We call the planet beneath us. We call the spirit and the love within us. We call all that is, all around us, the great spirit that moves in all things. Come be with us today as we celebrate all that is with deep gratitude.
Hello, I'm Bronwyn Butterfield. This is the chalice lighting for this morning. Like the first hint of green by Jennifer McLaughlin. As the first hint of green begins to peek through the barren ground, as that little sprig grows into a healthy stem, as that stem grows into a stalk and forms a bud, and as that bud slowly opens with each new day to form a yellow daffodil. Let us be like that first hint of green, renewed by the warmth of the sun's rays and ready to emerge with new energy, ready to face the day. We light this chalice to bring a glimmer of warmth into our space. I will now be drumming the sound of the heartbeat. So please pick up your instrument and follow along with my rhythm. And we'll begin. I will be sitting down away from the Zoom. Sorry about that, but you'll be able to hear the drum beat.
Ostara is a pagan celebration of the spring equinox, which falls on March 21st, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. It is observed as part of the Wheel of the Year. In some pagan traditions, it is at this time that the horned god is born, resurrected to wed the goddess in the never-ending cycle of seasons. Or you might recall the Greek myth of Persephone, who returns to her mother Demeter for the spring, bringing new growth after the bleakness of winter. Or the story of Inanna, the earliest goddess to visit the underworld and return. This celebration shares a name with the Germanic goddess of spring, Ostara, traditionally called Ostara by the Anglo-Saxons, who bears a similarity to the Canaanite moon goddess Ostara, all from which we are likely to derive the name for the modern celebration of Easter. And that bunny that brings the eggs, that magical egg-laying bunny, comes from a tale of Ostara when she found a wounded bird and transformed it into a hare to save its life. The transformation wasn't complete, so it could still lay eggs. On this special day of the year, night and day are in equal lengths. So Ostara is about celebrating balance and growth and new beginnings. We celebrate the seedlings popping up through the dirt as a sign of rebirth, fertility, and new beginnings as well. Much like the tulip, we needed the chill of winter to hibernate and regenerate so that we can bloom at our full potential. Our celebration today centers around these traditional Ostara motifs, celebrating the divine femininity in Mother Earth, rebirth, resurrection, and renewal, finding balance in our lives, and setting intentions and planting seeds for personal growth.
After I retrieve my drum, please join me in drumming, singing, shaking as we listen to a video called The River is Flowing by Lila. So I'll get my drum right now. Follow along. It is the time in our service for joys and concerns. And Reverend Patty asked me to make an announcement at the beginning. Edie Ingersoll's surgery went well, and she's optimistic about her recovery. Reverend Patty spoke with Marilyn Coulter. Is that correct? Because I was to believe it was Marilyn Coulter we're concerned about. Her granddaughter, Nicole, from the rehab facility in Phoenix, has spoken to Reverend Patty as well. So Marilyn will be there a couple of weeks. She is feeling lots and lots of love from this congregation. And she wishes she could be back home to add to the rummage sale. Her granddaughter, Nicole, promises to keep the Reverend in the loop. And I have her address if you need it later, or it will be posted. We'll continue with our joys and concerns. Spirit of spring, new life, spirit of decay and death, we turn to your wisdom and strength as we seek to live lives of meaning and love. The cycle of life is powerful. Everything that lives dies. Everything that dies has lived. There is no escaping this cycle. What then can we learn from its power? The leaves that we put away in the fall are now compost, fertilizing the soil as we prepare to till the garden for this year's plantings. The harbinger of spring, the crocus, brings such delight and lasts but for a moment. Then it's gone, making way for the abundance of green and the color that spring will bring. When one who is beloved dies, we cry, we mourn, we lament, and we carry them on in our hearts, seeking to live as they inspired us to live. As a child grows, we marvel at their unfolding into their own unique self. These lives we live hold so much beauty and so much pain. And we, like each of our ancestors across the millennia, seek to live them fully. We seek love. We seek to appreciate beauty. We seek solace and healing. We seek to hold fast to the core goodness of the world and to amplify its abundance. We seek one another, for no one can do this alone. Now, in the company of many, let us enter a time of silence. And if you are so moved, please come forward and drop a pebble into our water bowl to honor that which your heart seeks.
This is a guided visualization by Sharon Delgadillo. March, that time of year when we never are quite sure what each day will bring. This is the season when the snow can cover the ground. We've even had snow into April, folks. The mud can cover your shoes and the rain can turn to ice without warning. During this tumultuous weather, magic begins to happen. It is the time of resurrection. And so today, I hope you will join me as we try to take the magic of spring and create some mindful intentions in our lives. I'm going to ask you to take a very deep breath with me. As you sit, plant your feet on the floor and stretch your spine to the sky. get comfortable. Let's take a deep, deliberate breath. As you begin to take your breath, feel your lungs begin to swell and lift your chest. Reach down to your core or belly button and find any pain, sorrow, anxiety, loneliness, lethargy that you may feel. Sit with it for a moment. Feel it deeply, and then as you exhale, release all those emotions. Whatever it is that is held in your heart, imagine it is becoming a small bird. And with your next exhale, release it and set it free. And now come take a journey with me. Close your eyes and let us meet in a field of white snow. This is the kind of snow that has a crunchy layer on the top of it, so your feet do not make a deep impression. And as you stand on that white, crunchy surface, take another deep breath. This time, inhale the cold winter air and the sharpness of it as you bring it deep into your lungs. Allow yourself to sit with that sensation for just a moment. And as you release and exhale, you begin to feel your breath become warm. And you notice that the sun is shining on your face. Allow your mind to begin to travel down your body, to your feet, and finally to the ground. There are places where the snow has melted, where small mounds of mud and dead plants lie next to the spots of snow. The mosses begin to come to life. The Canada goose calls. The salamanders and frogs begin to move. The roots of the first flowering plants begin to stretch and reach deeper into the earth for nourishment. Maybe it's a crocus or a poppy. Tiny ants, beetles, and other insects begin to emerge. The earth is awakening. Even beneath the cold, still snow, life is bursting, preparing for the next season. As you slowly begin to leave that space, bring the sun's warmth, the budding trees, and the emerging life into your heart space and let it breathe there. Take one last deep breath, pulling all that energy into your heart space. And with an exhale and a smile, exclaim, "Spring has arrived." Everybody, spring has arrived.
The spring equinox is a joyful holiday centered around rebirth and growth. It celebrates the arrival of spring. The earth is finally coming alive again. The spring equinox delivers on nature's promise that new life will return. After all seemed dead and hopeless through the winter, that life force is rising again. Our own spirits are rising, and we feel joyful. On the spring equinox, the earth is in perfect balance. Night and day are equal. This is the time to bring much needed balance into our own lives. This is also a festival of awakening and new birth. The dark months are over and we're moving into the warmth of the light. Now is the time for your spirit to wake up to new ideas and new dreams. Its fresh, warm energy makes you feel alive and inspired. Embrace this new beginning and let the spring energy fuel your growth as the days get longer and the sun grows warmer. Please join me as you're willing and able, or sing along or drum along as we dance to this song. The words are on your handout.
The spirit of the plants has come to me in the form of a beautiful dancing green woman. The spirit of the plants has come to me in the form of a beautiful dancing green woman. Her eyes filled me with peace. Her dance filled me with peace. Her eyes filled me with peace. Her dance filled me with peace. The spirit of the plants has come to me in the form of a beautiful dancing green woman. The spirit of the plants has come to me in the form of a beautiful dancing green woman. Her eyes filled me with peace. Her dance filled me with peace. Her eyes filled me with peace. Her dance filled me with peace. The spirit of the plants has come to me and has blessed me with great peace. The spirit of the plants has come to me and has blessed me with great peace. Her eyes filled me with peace. Her dance filled me with peace. Her eyes filled me with peace. Her dance filled me with peace. The spirit of the plants has come to me in the form of a beautiful dancing green woman.
For you can see me in your eyes when they are mirrored by a friend. There is no end to circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. For I am the power to begin. I dream and bring to birth what's never been. There is no end to freedom, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. There is no end to circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. And you can hear me in your voice and feel me in each breath that you breathe in. There is no end to circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. For I am the power to sustain. I am the ripened fruit and growing grain. There is no end to my abundance, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. There is no end to the circle, no end. There is no end to life, there is no end. And you can feel me in your heart when it beats with the heart of a friend. There is no end.
Whew. It's good to get up and move, isn't it? So we're going to keep drumming it into you, but Ostara is a time of planting seeds, both physically and spiritually. Again, at this time of year during the spring equinox, we see new life springing forth, filling us with renewed energy to bring about the best version of ourselves, to create the ideal world that we'd like to see, and to write our own destinies. Now is a beautiful time to choose which of your winter intentions you'd like to focus on. Embrace this time of fresh beginnings and inspiration. You each should have received a packet of seeds and a pencil. Does anyone not have one? Because we will bring it to you. We've got a couple people up there. There's some seeds right by my chair there, but I don't have any extra pencils. Okay. And there's some other, they're all back. Bonnie up front here too. Bonnie. I'm sorry, you folks on Zoom, pretend you have a packet of seeds, or please go get a piece of paper and a pencil, and this will work for you also. Okay. We hope something in today's celebration has gotten you thinking about setting intentions or finding balance. Think about what you would like to grow in your life, or what you would like to sow the seeds of to start something. Visualize this and write it down on your packet of seeds. Give you a couple minutes to think and write. As these seeds are blessed with the following prayer to encourage sprouting in fertile soil, may what you wrote also find fertile soil in your heart and grow. Spirit of life, bless these seeds pregnant with life. May they burst forth soon with verdant growth. Let the waters of this earth fall from the sky at the proper times, so that our gardens and fields may yield abundantly, and all growing things may thrive. Bless too these seeds of our intentions that we plant today. May we carefully tend them, that they may come to fruition. Great Spirit, plant seeds of love in our lives that will grow through the years. Plant seeds of peace in every nation, that they may take root and true peace grow on the face of the earth. So mote it be.
This is our closing song. And as usual, I love to dance. So the last verse and the chorus, I'll be out there on the floor dancing and not singing and drumming, but please join me. So we'll be drumming a 3-beat to this one, and I'll get you started, and I'll be singing only the chorus into the mic, and then I'll step back and continue singing. But it starts with praise to the spring, praise to all living things, and then the chorus, return from the darkness. Then it goes back to praise to the spring. So every other verse you see in the chorus. Okay, and the last two I'll be going over to the floor and dancing. Please join me in movement. I'm one of the few here that just dances whenever I feel like it. So hopefully you'll be okay and come join me. Those of you on Zoom, goodness, I hope you.
Praise to the spring, praise to all living things, praise to the maiden and the joy that she brings, praise to the earth, let all the creatures now sing. Hope is renewed with the coming of the spring. We turn from darkness and the wise crone within. Return to the maiden and creation begin. It's a time for things growing, a time now for flowing, time now for sowing the seeds of your dream. So praise to the spring, praise to all living things, praise to the maiden and the joy that she brings, praise to the earth, let all the creatures now sing. Hope is renewed with the coming of the spring. The heart fires are stirring with the new life returning. It's time now for learning what rebirth truly means. And we honor ourselves and all the fairies and elves. May we dance and ring bells for the coming of the spring. So praise to the spring, praise to all living things, praise to the maiden and the joy that she brings, praise to the earth, let all the creatures now sing. Hope is renewed with the coming of the spring. So open your heart to nature's wondrous art. It's time now to start the healing of the green. Young rabbits abound, and there's flowers all around. The air is filled with the sound of the coming of the spring. So praise to the spring, praise to all living things, praise to the maiden and the joy that she brings, praise to the earth, let all the creatures now sing. Hope is renewed with the coming of the spring. So open your heart soft. It's time now to start the healing of the green. Young rabbits abound and there's flowers all around. The air is filled with the sound of the coming of the spring. So praise to the spring, praise to all living things, praise to the maiden and the joy that she brings, praise to the earth that all the creatures now sing. Hope is renewed with the coming of the spring.
Now at times comes the time for us to open the circle and extinguish our chalice. Spirits of the north and the element earth, thank you for providing vital nutrients for strength and growth. We bid you farewell. Spirits of the west and the element water, we thank you for your transformative powers of purity and growth. We bid you farewell. Spirits of the south and the element fire, thank you for providing the powerful warmth needed for energy and growth. We bid you farewell. Spirits of the east and the element air, thank you for providing your gentle breath for renewal and growth. We bid you farewell. Spirits of below, above, and within, thank you for your gifts and your presence today. We bid you farewell. And now we will extinguish the chalice. So please, the words are on the screen. Read along with me as we do. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we gather in our hearts until we are together again. And now we have the heroes and heroines of our rummage sale here to make an announcement.
Little sore after emptying this room. If some of you saw it yesterday, you would have thought we'd never be sitting here in seats. But thanks to the Coalition for Compassion and Justice,